Email security. The next email security concept is SBOR MIME, that is Secure Multi-Purpose Internet Mail Extensions. MIME, Multi-Purpose Internet Mail Extensions, is a standard which was proposed by Bell Communications in 1991 in order to expand the limited capabilities of email. We can send email messages only in the format of NUT 7-bit ASCII code format by using SMTP, that is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. So after by using SBOR MIME, we can send a mail in any format, which means SBOR MIME supports any format of the message which can send from one sender to another receiver through email. So MIME is a supplementary protocol which allows non-ASCII code data to be sent through email using SMTP, and MIME allows the user to exchange different kinds of data, files on the internet like audio, video, images, etc. MIME is an extension to the Internet Mail Protocol. MIME provides security for commercial emails by encrypting the emails. So SBOR MIME is an extension of MIME, and SBOR MIME based on asymmetric key encryption method. It is used for sending digitally signed and encrypted data. It allows us to digitally sign our mail to verify ourselves as the legitimate sender. So these are the introduction about SBOR MIME. So initially MIME was developed. After that only Secure Multi-Purpose Internet Mail Extension was developed to overcome the limitations to be occurred in SMTP protocol. So initially we can send the mail by using SMTP protocol, that is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. There are some limitations, so that only MIME developed. After that the SBOR MIME was introduced. It is an extension of MIME. So by using SBOR MIME, we can exchange different kinds of messages through email like images, audio, video, which means we can send any type of data through email by using SBOR MIME. By using SMTP, we can send only the data in ASCII code format, but after using SBOR MIME, we can send any type of data to another user. So it is a secure multi-purpose internet mail extensions, and it is not restricted to mail. It can be used with any transport mechanism like HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and SBOR MIME is used as the industry standard for commercial purpose. So for email security there are two concepts. One is PGP, Pretty Good Privacy, and second one is SBOR MIME. But the main difference between SBOR MIME and PGP is PGP support only for personal email security, but SBOR MIME used in industrial, for commercial and organizational use. This is the difference between SBOR MIME and PGP. SBOR MIME provides the following security services to email. First one is authentication, message integrity, non-repudiation of origin, privacy and data security. Authentication, we know one person proves the identity of another person. Integrity means it should maintain the originality of the message. Non-repudiation of origin, it is a situation like no one can deny the message that was sent from the sender. And data security, so security to be achieved by using an encryption method. So the first three security services was enabled by using digital signature concept. The last service was enabled by using an encryption method. So there are three versions in SBOR MIME. Version 1 was introduced in the year 1995. Version 2 introduced in 1998. Version 3 introduced in 1999. So each and every specification of the version to be used some algorithms for providing such cryptographic security services. So SMTP, as I already said, a mail can be sent by using SMTP protocol before MAME. So there are some limitations. So these are the limitations to be occurred in SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol. By using SMTP, we cannot transmit executable files, which means is an extension of .exe, the file name having, for example, file1.exe. So by using SMTP protocol, we can't send that type of executable files or other binary files through email. Second limitation is, by using SMTP, we cannot transmit text data that includes the national language characters, because these are represented by 8-bit codes with the value of 128-bit decimal, and SMTP is limited to 7-bit ASCII code. So we can't send the national language characters, because that languages are represented by 8-bit code, but SMTP will support only for 7-bit ASCII code. So we can't transmit that type of data also. SMTP servers reject mail message over certain size, which means it does not support the file size which are bigger than the particular limited size. Next limitation is, it have some translation problems, which means the ASCII code character to another type of language. It has some translation problems by using SMTP gateway, and implementations don't completely to the SMTP standard defined in RFC, because MAME supports RFC 8.22. It defines the format for text messages, because we usually send the message like text only. So MAME defines one standard, that is RFC 8.22, which defines the format of that particular text messages. But SMTP, it is difficult in the implementation of the message that is defined in RFC 8.22. So these are the limitations occurred by using SMTP while transferring the message through email. So to overcome these limitations, they are introducing SBOR MAME, Secure Multi-Purpose Internet Mail Extensions. So by using MAME, there are three important elements. First one is it having two new message header files. Second one, the content formats are defined. Third one is transfer encodings are there. So in header files, they provide the information about the body of the message, right? So in content format, they provide some representation about which should support the multimedia email. Third element is transfer encoding, that enable and also it protect any content format to be altered by the mail system. So these are the three important elements to be introduced in the specification of MAME. So in MAME, there are 7 types: text, multipart, message, image, audio, video and application, which means these 7 type of messages are supported by MAME. We can transmit this 7 type of messages through email by using MAME protocol. So each and every type having some subtype, which means, for example, image subtype is JPEG and GIF. For video, the subtype is MPEG. These are the subtype of particular type. So we are seeing the third element is transfer encoding. So this is the transfer encoding definition. There are 6 transfer encoding. One is 7-bit and second one is 8-bit, binary, watered printable, and base 64 X token. 7-bit means initially the characters should be supported in the format of 7-bit, which means short lines. Then it has been extended to 8-bit ASCII code, and binary means not only non-ASCII code characters be presented, but lines are not necessarily short enough for SMTP transport. Quartered printable means the data being encoded are mostly ASCII code text. Base 64 means here we can map 6-bit block into 8-bit ASCII code, because MAME support 8-bit ASCII code. So by using base 64, we can map or we can convert 8-bit data into 6-bit data. The last one is X token, that is non-standard encoding, which means it is the unformatted message. So these are the transfer encoding message content for MAME. 7-bit, 8-bit, binary code, quarter printable, base 64 and X token. So MAME is necessary in today's internet and email traffic requirements, and it capability to service multi-purpose standard, which means by using MAME we can it can be used as for multi-purpose. That's why the name is given for multi-purpose internet mail extensions, and it has the capability of transferring data between two different systems which uses different format. So this is the main point of MAME. And MAME having 4 functions: enveloped data, signed data, clear signed data, and signed and enveloped data. There are 4 functions to be followed in SBOR MAME. First one is enveloped data. Enveloped data is nothing but it is the encrypted content. So the content have to be encrypted by using some encryption keys. So this enveloped data provides privacy and data security service. Second function is signed data. So here digital signature concept is used to sign in the message digest of the original message. After the sign should be included in message, that should be encrypted with some private key by using base 64 encoding method. So this function provides authentication, integrity and non-repudiation of origin of cryptographic services. So the third function is clear signed data. Here also digital signature concept is used, because signed means we have to insert some signature to the original message. So the signature was generated by using digital signature standard, and also this is encoded with base 64. And last function is signed and enveloped data. So here signed means the signature is appended to the original message. Enveloped means encryption. So after the signature is inserted to the original message, both the message with signature was encrypted by using some private keys. So this function provides all the security services: confidentiality, authentication, integrity, privacy, security. So these are the services provided by SBOR MAME by using these 4 functions: signed data, enveloped data, clear signed data, signed and enveloped data. So these 4 functions to be useful for providing the security services. So in the definition of SBOR MAME, we should follow something, and we must follow something for each and every function. So must means absolute requirement of the specification, which means the original requirement of the particular specification. Should means there may be exist some reasons in the particular requirement of the specification, which means it may be recommended some of the feature or functions in SBOR MAME. So must means original requirement of the specification. Should means may be recommended some features or functions to SBOR MAME. So for each and every function of SBOR MAME, what are the specification having must definition, what are the specification having should definition, right? So the first function is creation of message digest. Message digest is nothing but it is a signature, right? So here we must use SHA-1 algorithm, but we should use SHA-1 algorithm, right? This is a requirement. And for the second function, message digest encryption to form a digital signature. So for this function, the requirement having must and should. So this requirement must support DSS, digital signature standard. It should support RSA algorithm. So the third function is session key encryption for transmission with the message. For this requirement, both sender and receiver must support Diffie-Hellman algorithm. For this requirement, sending agent should support RSA algorithm and receiving agent should support RSA description. So this is the requirement for this particular function. Next function is message encryption for transmission with one-time session key. So for this requirement, both agent must support 3-DES algorithm, but the receiving agent should support RC2/40 algorithm, and the sending agent should support RSA with 3-DES algorithm. So these are the points. You can get clear knowledge about this. For each and every function, the requirements having some of the requirements must to follow, some of the requirements may follow, which coming under the category of should. So for each and every function, what are the requirements to be must to followed, and what are the requirements to be may or may not be followed for each and every function. So the common algorithms used for SBAR MAME, the algorithms used here is they should use 3-DES algorithm and must use RC240 algorithm, encryption algorithm. So the main problem to be occurred here, multiple recipients message having the problem arised in performance and security by using SBAR MAME, because SBAR MAME was developed to overcome the limitations of SMTP. So some of the problems also occurred in SBAR MAME. The problems are performance and security. So the solution for this problem is, the problem is solved by using an extended security services called SBAR MAME Mail List Agent, MLA. So to overcome the problems of SMTP, they are introducing SBAR MAME. So to overcome the problem performance security in SBAR MAME, MLA concept is introduced. MLA is nothing but mail list agent. So MLA perform the specific encryption for each user and forward the message. So this is the solution for this, and this is the common SBAR MAME message format. So initially the message CMS is nothing but canonical message. So canonical MAME, canonical format means it is the encrypted format. So the message having some certificate, because each and every message having some message format, so which include the certificate, and for encryption they are having some algorithms. So each and every algorithm having some identifiers and MAME. So and finally the CMS object is encoded with canonical form, and we can send the mail by using an internet. So MAME having some content type, already we saw this, multi-part, text, audio, video, image, application, executable files. So these are the same one content type, and each and every type having some subtype. So now we will see what is enveloped data and what is signed data. These are the functions of SBAR MAME. The first one is enveloped data. Enveloped is nothing but is the encryption functions to be performed on a data. So initially the session key was generated by using 3-DES algorithm or RC240 algorithm. After the session key was generated, the session key was encrypted by using Diffie-Hellman or RSA algorithm. The algorithm was used to generate the public key of recipients. After encrypting the session key, this is the session key of after encryption process. So this session key having some recipient information, because the session key was encrypted by using the public key value of recipient. So this session key of encryption having some information about recipient. So this session key gives some recipient information. Recipient information is nothing but public key value of that particular recipients. So this recipient information got from that certificate, because each and every user having store their private and public key value in certificate authority. So that particular information was sent to the recipient information. So the certificate also passed to the message, and finally the recipient information is nothing but is the public key value of recipient, which was concatenated with the message with certificate and signature, and finally the encryption process is performed. Right, initially the session key was generated. After the session key was encrypted, simultaneously The certificate was created by CA, Certificate Authority. So the certificate provides some information about receiver. Receiver means recipient. The informations were public key value because session key was encrypted by using public key value of recipient. That public key value was generated by Diffie-Hellman or RSA algorithm. So that particular public key value of recipient with added with the original message that have to be encrypted. So this is the enveloped data. So enveloped is nothing but encryption. So the next one is signed data. You can get the clear knowledge. Enveloped means encryption. There is no digital signature concept. But signed data means we have to insert the signature of the particular user to the original message. So initially the message was applying to the hash function. We can user either any one of the hash function, SHA-1 or MD5, because both are the hashing function, to produce the some message digest. Message digest is nothing but some digest value that was appended to the original message. So after the hashing function is applied to the original message, that message has to be encrypted by using sender's public key. Here also the SHA-1 and MD5 are getting the certificate information. So certificate produced some signature. So that signature information should added with the original message, and finally which was applied to base 64 encoding. Base 64 encoding method is used to mapping a 6-bit value into 8-bit value. So the finally you can see that in the below of the document they have put some signature. So this is the signed data. So initially you can see the plain notebook, and finally the notebook having some signature. Initially they are producing the plain data, finally the data have to be signed by the user. This is the concept of signed data. The previous slide having enveloped data, that is encryption. Here signed data. So for signature they are using hash function SHA-1 or MD5, but before in this previous slide for enveloped data they are using either Diffie-Hellman or RSA for generating recipient's public key for encrypting the session key process. So this is the concept of registration request. Is nothing but already I said for each and every user having they have to be register and store their information in certificate authority. So for registering their information into certificate authority, they have some registration request. This is the concept of that. So SBOR MAME certificate. So SBOR MAME also uses public key certificate because SBOR MAME is a asymmetric key encryption method, and it is a version of X.509. X.509 it is the authentication application which was used to provide authentication services. So this is the format of SBOR MAME. So each certificate having some version number, some certificate serial number, signature algorithm identifier, because signature have to be inserted in the original message. So issuer means who has to be issue the signature, and each and every certificate having some validity period. And a subject means who was the owner, and a subject public key information, the public key value of the subject, and issuer unique information, and a subject unique information. Next one is extensions. If we have to be include any other information, we can insert in that cell of this certificate. And final one is CS digital signature, certificate authority digital signature, because this certificate was issued by CA only, so that they have to be put some sign at the end of the certificate. So a certificate can only be trusted if and only if every certificate in the chain and the certificate has to be trusted, which means the certificate was signed by the certificate authority. So this is the certificate concept of SBOR MAME. Initially there will be one user, so there must be always one certificate authority and registration authority are there. So initially user requests some registration to RA, registration authority. After getting request from user, RA contact with certification authority to create the certificate for that particular user. So the certificate authority create the certificate format. This is the certificate format for every user. The certificate authority get the request from registration authority RA and create the certificate by using these informations, version, serial number. These are the informations to be included in each and every certificate for the particular user which was who are sending the request to registration authority. So after creating the certificates are stored in on service, that is directory service. So they have to maintain some directory to store the information about the user. So after storing the certificates in directory service, the certificate informations are get from that directory service by the user. So these are the cyclic concept of SBOR MAME certificate. So for creating a certificate, there are some user rules. There are 3 user. One is key generation, registration, and certificate storage and retrieval. These are the roles to be performed by every individual user, right? The first role is key generation, because for security purpose we can use either Diffie-Hellman or RSA, and for signed data we have used either DSS or SHA, right? SHA or MD5, so digital signature concept. So for key generation, SBOR MAME using Diffie-Hellman, RSA, digital signature standard, SHA, MD5 for generating the key. The key may be session key, private key or public key, right? This is the first role. Second role is registration. After creating keys, they have to register in registration authority, and then the certificate authority create the certificate. So we have every user have to send some request to registration authority, RE. So the second role is registration, which was performed by user. So the third role is certificate storage and retrieval. After creating the certificate authority and registration authority store the certificates in directory service for storage and retrieval purpose. So these are the second role performed by user, because the storage was done only by certificate authority, the certificate retrieved by the user. So this is the third role. So this is the summary about SBOR MAME, which provides thoroughly designed and widely deployed technological approach to provide basic message protection service for the internet, and it is based on X.509 certificate. SBOR MAME is strongly supported by all versions of messages and all types of messages. So SBOR MAME will become the predominant technology for secure messaging on the internet. So SBOR MAME is secure multi-purpose internet mail extensions. It is mainly used for email security. So for email security there are two concepts. One is PGP and second one is SBOR MAME. PGP is used for personal email security. SBOR MAME is used for commercial purpose. We can use SBOR MAME in industry standards. So initially we can send mail through by using SMTP protocol, simple mail transfer protocol. There are some deficiency or disadvantages. To overcome that, SBOR MAME was developed. So SBOR MAME also having some problems. To overcome the SBOR MAME problem, the MLA concept is introduced, mail list agent. So MAME having some content type and having some functions. So for providing enveloped data, enveloped means encryption. So for providing encryption, they are using Diffie-Hellman or RSA algorithm. Signed data function, for signed data function, they are using digital signature standard concept. So before playing digital signature concept, they have to use either SHA-1 or MD5 to produce digest value that was appended to the original message. So these are the two important main functions. So after performing mail, we can create the certificate for each and every user. So there are some certificate format, message format. In that format only the certificate have to be created by certificate authority CA, So initially there are three roles are performed by user. Initially they have to be the keys are generated, because RSA algorithm, Diffie-Hellman, SHA, MD5, they all using some keys. So key J is generated by user, and then the user have to request for registration of certificates, and then the certificates have to be storage and retrieval.